Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachat, Wadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostle of the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity. And unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning. And unto the Bayath Adabadah, the elect house of David, that are scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere citations. Found a news article here. Excuse me. Let me grab this real quick. Slack it. So grab this news article. Found this news article here that says man couldn't accept his ex-girlfriend, dumped him for another man, so he entered the store she worked at to confront her before shooting her 9 times. Arrested. Okay. So we're going to read a little bit of this article, and then we're going to get some scripture, Lord willing, to be edifying to the body and to the sincere believers and listeners. It says here in Texas, in a devastating act of violence that has shaken Texas residents, a 39-year-old man identified as M. Wilkerson is facing charges for the cold-blooded murder of his 29-year-old ex-girlfriend, identified as T. King, at her workplace. Wilkerson was arrested and charged with capital murder and tampering, fabricating physical evidence in connection with the incident that took place shortly after King decided to put an end to the troubled relationship and moved on with another man. The fatal encounter was captured on the store's surveillance cameras, which depicted Wilkerson entering the premises on Tuesday, attempting to avoid detection by the cameras near the cash register before he confronted King and shot her multiple times. According to reports, King was hit 9 times with 4 bullets striking her in the back, suggesting she might have been trying to escape or was taken by surprise. Employees and customers were left in shock as the store turned into a crime scene with King's body found riddled with bullets. The swift response from the police department led to Wilkerson's arrest the following day without any further incidents. This brutal act of violence stemmed from a personal relationship gone awry. King had recently ended her relationship with Wilkerson, choosing to be with another man, a decision that Wilkerson reportedly could not accept. According to King's friend, Dee Bradley, who spoke to local media, King was a hard-working woman with goals and had clearly communicated her intentions to Wilkerson that she no longer wished to be in a relationship with him. Her family described the pain and suddenness of the loss, with her brother lamenting the grim reality that King was supposed to join him for his birthday celebrations the day after she was killed, an occasion that turned into mourning. As the legal process unfolds, the community and King's family are left to grapple with the consequences of what appears to be a crime rooted in possessiveness and refusal to accept the end of a relationship. Wilkerson's admission to police that he felt disrespected by his ex-girlfriend highlights the dangerous lengths to which feelings of entitlement and control can go. Okay, the case has also sparked discussions about workplace safety and the measures that can be taken to protect employees from domestic violence spillovers. The tragedy underscores the critical need for awareness and intervention strategies to prevent such violent escalations in personal relationships. Wilkerson is currently being held at the county's jail without bond, awaiting a court appearance that is yet to be scheduled. Meanwhile, the legal proceedings are closely watched by a community that is shocked and grieved by the senseless violence that took the life of a woman described by those who knew her as ambitious and full of life. As this case progresses, it serves as a stark reminder of the fatal consequences that can arise from domestic disputes and the importance of addressing signs of violence before they escalate to irreversible actions. All right. So, going back to the title of this, man couldn't accept his ex-girlfriend, dumped him for another man, so he entered the store she worked at to confront her before shooting her 9 times. And this is the scripture that comes to mind. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 6. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 34. And it says, "For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance." I'm going to read that again. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 34. "For jealousy is the rage of a man. Therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance." Jealousy, that is the rage of a man. You know, to you women out there who have a man, and you know, whether you're talking to a man, flirting with him and all that stuff, you're stirring up your man's jealousy, and you want to call your man insecure. Okay, you call me insecure, but you're acting like a hoe, being promiscuous and unfaithful. Okay? But in this case, you know, as we just read in this article, that their relationship was troubled. And apparently, you know, this man was controlling and possessive. But, you know, us men, when it comes to having our women, we are possessive. You know, that's my woman, okay? No man can have her but me. She's with me. And a lot of women in this society, have a hard time accepting that. Okay? And I'm gonna get the book of Romans. This is Romans chapter 7. Romans chapter 7, verse 2. "For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth. But if the husband be dead, she is loosed from the law of the husband." So, when you women have a man, you are bound to him. Okay? You can't just simply dump him or leave him and go be with somebody else. Okay? It doesn't work like that. Okay? Verse 3. "So then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from that law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man." Okay? So you have to understand that when you're with a man, you are with him. That's your man. You women can't just be going from one man to another like that. Okay? But in this society, you've been allowed to do as you please. You know, have the freedom and liberty to get abroad and go from one rod to the next on the cop carousel. You know? So, the only way you can be unbound from your husband is if he passes on, if he dies. Then you are free to go about. In fact, let me get the book of 1 Corinthians, because there's another scripture that's very similar, but more straight to the point. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 39. It says, "The wife is bound by the law as long as her husband liveth. But if her husband be dead, she is at liberty to be married to whom she will, only in the Lord." So that was 1 Corinthians 7 and 39. So if your husband passes on, then you have the right to remarry who you want. But as long as your husband liveth, you are bound to that man. This is going to be the book of Luke. Luke 16. Luke 16 and 18. It says, whoso putteth away his wife and marry another committeth adultery, and whoso marrieth her that is put away from her husband committeth adultery. Okay, so it's as simple as this. A man cannot mess with another man's wife, even if they're divorced, because remember, she is still bound to that man. By the biblical law, that was, that man is her husband. Even though they're separated or divorced or whatever, that you still committed adultery by messing with that woman. Okay? So you can't, and that's the thing here in this, excuse me, in this society, man, like people have no moral respect for marriages anymore. In fact, they never did. Okay? So you can't mess around with another man's wife. And even if she's divorced, you still can't mess with her because she's still bound to that man. That's her husband. In fact, driving another point home here, this is Deuteronomy 22. Deuteronomy 22, verse 22. It says, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shalt thou put away evil from Israel. Okay? So, the punishment for adultery is death. And that's exactly what this woman got. Even though the man that put her down is now behind bars. But, this is just a clear example. Going back to Proverbs again. And this better sink into your skulls, because these men, they're not playing games with you women anymore. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. Verse 35. He will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. So he couldn't accept the fact that his girlfriend dumped him for another man. Okay? He couldn't rest. He couldn't let that go. He couldn't let it go. So, you women out there, either you learn to, stay celibate, or if you have a man, since this society allows you that freedom to choose whoever you want to be with, you better choose your man wisely. Choose wisely. So, otherwise you could end up like this woman here. And so, I hope this was edifying, and I hope that, that this message gets out there to the women, especially the women in the faith, I know that, you sincere Akwath, stay true, stay, sober, be vigilant, and if you're single, just be patient. The Lord's building you up and getting you ready for a man, so just be patient, okay? And for you men, if a woman separates herself from her previous man and she wants to be with you, just watch out, man, because You just don't know what type of situation you could be walking into. These women out here, man, they you can't take their word for it. They say that they're single, or they said they broke up and they haven't been with their guy in years, and you just don't know if their man is stalking them, or you just don't know. So just be careful out there. And with that, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachat, Radash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity, and unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, and unto the Bayath and Abadat, the elect house of David that are scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala, Wa Abad Babal, Shalom, Barakatam.